Smiling is another way to de-stress, another beautiful way of allowing yourself to have a very good day. If you get up every day and you said, you know what, today I'm going to try to smile a lot, and at almost every opportunity I get, you will find that you will have an amazing day. I've met people. I was in London. I met one brother, a Palestinian brother. I've never seen someone who smiles so much. And if he leaves the room and come back in, he says, Assalamu alaikum, brother. And he starts to embrace you again, like he's seeing you for the first time. Smiling. What is it? Looks kind of weird. Leave the room, pick up something, come back. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You just did. But I remembered it because of the unusual warmth that this brother displayed of this amazing smile. So smiling, you get blessings for smiling. To smile in the face of a brother is sadaqah. And so never belittle a good deed, even if it's meeting your brother with a happy face. And so we are asked to be easy smilers. Well, unfortunately, our community, somebody have told them it's not good to smile. I don't know why. So we all go around with a very serious face. Our default mode is to be serious. We rarely smile. We think that the more you get pious, the less you have to smile, and the more you have to be sad looking and depressed looking. This is not so, because if you are worshiping Allah and you are doing the right thing, you should be more than anybody else in that happy mode, that happy countenance, smiling and feeling, beautiful. The other issue is concerning joking. This is a tricky one. There's a long ayah in Surah Hujurat in which Allah tells us, don't joke about people and so on. So one woman, she came to the Prophet ﷺ and she said she wanted to go to paradise. And the Prophet said, no old woman will enter paradise. She became very distressed. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, no, that you will be returned to your youth before you go to paradise. And then she became very happy after that. And this is used as an illustration by the scholars to show that the Prophet ﷺ used to have light-hearted moments with some of the people as well. So when you're going to tell jokes, and everybody trying to be a comedian, it's not an easy thing to tell jokes or to be jovial. So we have certain very important conditions and restrictions. Number one, it should bring joy and happiness to people. And we're not allowed to tell untruthful jokes by lying and telling jokes through lying. And we should not cause ill or harm to other people by, speaking about them in derogatory ways when we tell our jokes. And go forward. It should not mock religion. It should not be so excessive and extreme that it creates discomfort with people. And then there's a time and place for jokes. You have to know when to tell a joke and when not to tell a joke. Sometimes you go to janazah and you can see people laughing in the crowd. Because when a janazah, people meet each other and they're catching up. And sometimes they're so happy to see each other, they inappropriately begin to laugh and tell each other something that will cause them to laugh. But the relatives looking at that person from afar feels insulted and say, look, they come to the janazah, and instead of empathizing with us and helping us to get past this, they're laughing. So places like a janazah, you have to be very careful and be conscious that when you go to certain places, that there's a time for jokes and there's a time for not. And it happens very frequently, I see it. And I'm always trying to be very conscious when I go to janazah that even though I see somebody there and they would greet you with a laughing smile, how are you doing? I didn't see you so long and so forth. You got to be very careful about it. It's not the appropriate time to just, show that kind of merriment and joy, because you have people who have just lost their loved ones. You shouldn't be swearing and cursing and backbiting. Nowadays, most of the comedians, the stand-up comics, they curse. For some strange reason. They used to have a lot of them who would not curse in their act. and they became still popular. It's not a condition that in order to become popular you have to swear. You know, they have many of them who have been able to do comedy without swearing. We don't backbite, we don't belittle and make fun of others. So we don't joke at people at the expense of other people's pain. This is not what we as Muslims do. And despite all of that, and we have some more conditions as well. So the Prophet ﷺ said, do not take the possessions of your brother as a joke or seriousness or whatever, or whoever takes the stick of his brother, let him return it. So you don't play around with people's possessions as a joke, like a prank, and take their stuff and, you know, have them looking all over it and say, hey, I have it, you know. We don't do that. Do not scare people. It is impermissible for Muslim to scare or frighten another Muslim. You know, because you don't understand the mental health of a person, you know, what situation they are, whatever different problems they had in life and so on. So we don't do that. Don't do that scare thing. Their heart might not take it. So we don't scare each other to make a joke. Do not use a weapon. Whoever points a weapon towards his brother will be cursed by the angels until he puts it down, even if it is his paternal or maternal brother. And so the Prophet ﷺ discouraged people pointing weapons at each other as a joke. So many people have died and been shot because it was a joke. Somebody took a weapon and didn't think it was loaded or whatever, and playing jokes. People play a joke on their own selves and shot themselves. And so this is not, as we say, playing with a weapon is no joke. So we don't use weapons as a joke. And so it is important that we observe some of these when we make jokes. It doesn't mean we can't make jokes. And I'll give you an example of a nice joke that Abu Hanifa said, so you can see how it is. Man came to Abu Hanifa and says, if I take off my clothes and bathe in the river, should I face Qibla or another direction? And Abu Hanifa said, I think you should face the direction of where your clothes is, just in case it gets stolen. You know, so that's a light-hearted remark by Abu Hanifa, you know, saying, don't worry with Qibla, you know, you just focus on your clothes before it gets lost. So there are many ways to make jokes and keeping those rules. The Muslim brothers who are into stand-up comic, there are two types. There are some that are cursing and not as religious. And then there's some others who are very into deen, and they really do an amazing job when you listen to them in conveying beautiful jokes and that is relevant, timely, and doesn't violate these rules. All right, so